Today, I want to talk to you guys about not giving into your binge urges. I have been helping clients with this for many years now. This is one of my specialties, being able to help you stop giving into your urges. And what I mean by this is you know when you're full, and your mind convinces you to keep on eating. And you have this urge, it's like this pull to go back into the pantry even though you're full. That is the urge. It feels like this out-of-body experience. It's not actually the real you. And I want to talk about why it's so challenging for you to stop giving, or why it's so challenging for you to not give into your urges. Now, the first thing is you have to actually know what to do to stop giving into your urges. And this isn't a secret. I talk about this so much. You have to create a state change. And what I mean by that is you have to actually physically feel different. So if you're just trying to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to have one muffin and that's it, that's not going to guarantee that you're just going to have one muffin. If you tell yourself, I'm going to come home and I'm going to have my dinner and then I'm going to watch TV and I'm not going to snack, that's not going to guarantee that you're not going to snack. You have to actually create a state change in your body so your body physically feels different in order for you to not give in. And so what this looks like, these are 3 tools. I have about 10 that I share in my program, Stop the Urge, but a state change is things like shaking, like moving your body, breath work, different breathing techniques, splashing cold water on your face, hopping in a cold shower. Those are different ways to create a state change in your body. Now, knowing that is not enough. I've just told you 3 different things that you can do the next time you feel an urge to binge that will help you to not give in. But why is it that you still give in? Why is it that you still give in? I have clients that say, Lorna, I know the tools, but I still give in. And I'm going to share a little secret with you of why this actually happens. You are looking at these tools as punishment. You're looking at these tools as punishment, as like, instead of eating, I need to go do some breath work. When you look at these tools as punishment or like as a replacement, you're not going to want to use the tools. Food is the most pleasurable thing for you. And if you're telling yourself, instead of snacking, I'm going to go do breath work, you're not going to want to use the tool. Because breath work is not nearly as pleasurable as the cookie that you're about to have or the whatever you're about to have. You're looking at the tool as like a replacement. Instead of eating, I have to go do this tool. And that's not what I'm saying. That would be like distracting yourself. Right? Like if you're telling yourself, go for a walk instead of eating. Well, that's not going to work because going for a walk is not nearly as pleasurable as eating. But instead, you have to look at the tool. You have to look at creating a state change in your body as a way to regulate your nervous system, to reconnect to your intuition, to connect back to the truth of your body, not your urges. Because when you feel an urge to binge, you're impulsive. It's not actually you. All of your health goals go out the window. How much you love eating healthy, that goes out the window. How much you love taking care of yourself, that goes out the window. When you feel an urge to go and eat more, even though you're full, when you have an urge to go binge and say, F it, that's not actually you. That's an urge speaking. That's not actually you. And so using a tool to create a state change in your body, like breath work, it's not punishment, and it's not so that you don't eat. That's restriction. What this is essentially saying is I am going to use a tool. I'm going to regulate my nervous system. I'm going to create a state change in my body so that when I do go and eat, I'm going to be more grounded. I'm going to be less impulsive. I'm going to be connected to my intuition, to my body, to the real me. I'm going to be connected to my true brain, not my binge brain. There's a very big difference. If you see it as, I need to go do breath work, so hopefully I don't snack, you're not going to want to use the tool. I was talking to a client last week, and she's like, I know all the things. Like, I know what to do. Like, I know that I shouldn't give in. Like, I know I should do the breath work. I know that I should create a state change in my body. But when it comes down to it, I don't want to do that. I just want to eat. Yes. But you're looking at it as, I need to go do the breath work, and then you better not eat. If you see it like that, you are not going to want to use the tool. And I went through this on my journey. I remember learning different techniques, different strategies to create a state change in my body. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I want to go eat. So then I literally wouldn't use the tools, and I kept on giving into my urges, and my urges became stronger over time. And so instead, you have to create a mindset shift to say, you're not using a tool so that you don't snack. You are going to use a tool to regulate your nervous system so that when you do go and eat, you're not impulsive. You're not in autopilot mode. You're not in a reactive state. You're in a proactive state. You have more awareness. You're connected to your intuition. Your body is grounded. You're not so impulsive. So then when you go and you have your snack, because there's literally so much presence, there's so much awareness, you're more regulated, you're less impulsive, it's literally nearly impossible for you to overeat. It is very hard to overeat when you're that present, when you've just regulated your nervous system. Half of the time, the reason that you're overeating is because your nervous system is dysregulated. You're in autopilot mode. You get home from work and you're in the pantry. You've come home from work and you've had such a busy day and you're already in the pantry eating something before grounding yourself. Maybe you just have had a conversation with your husband and it was like a heated conversation. And then you're in the pantry. And then you're like, oh my gosh, why did I just eat? I know that I just ate my feelings because you didn't regulate yourself. You didn't create a different feeling in your body. When you go and binge, when you go and overeat, you're looking to feel differently. Why do you eat when you're not hungry? You want to feel something, the comfort, the relief, the pleasure. And you get to feel those things by creating a state change in your body without the sabotage, without the guilt, without the shame. When you eat and you binge and you overeat and you eat past fullness, even though it makes you feel like crap, you do get a temporary high feeling. You do get that sense of relief, that sense of comfort. It feels good. It's pleasurable. But you can experience those exact same feelings by regulating your nervous system, creating a state change. You feel the exact same way, except you're not uncomfortably full. So you know what to do. I just shared 3 different tools that you can use when an urge to binge comes on. You can shake your body, you can do breath work, you can hop in a cold shower, but that is not enough. You have to shift your mindset to say, I am not doing these things so that hopefully I don't snack. If you think that, you're not going to want to use the tools. So you have to shift your mindset. This is why rewiring your brain is so important. You have to rewire your brain to say, I'm going to use these nervous system regulation techniques, these state changes, so that I am more grounded, I am less impulsive, so that when I go and have my snack, I don't need the 5 protein bars, I'm fine with 1. I don't need the 4 cookies, I'm fine with the few. That is the mindset shift. You have to shift your mindset. And so this is so important because I always talk about this. You need strategy and mindset. You need to know what to do, but just knowing what to do is not going to be supportive if you don't understand the mindset behind it. I know you shouldn't give in to your urges, but why is it always one last time? Oh, but the food is just so good. Because you haven't actually shifted your mindset. You're not looking at it in the correct way. If you are, this is why I like distracting yourself or like telling yourself like not to go in the kitchen. It never works because when you tell yourself to do something, you quite literally want to do the opposite. Like literally. You tell yourself don't have the chocolate, you want the chocolate. You tell yourself don't binge, you're like, F that, I'm going to binge tonight. One that, I'm going to binge tonight. 1 tablespoon of almond butter, you're like, yeah, F that, I'm going to have the whole freaking jar. Standing up when my husband leaves the house. So it's not about just knowing what to do. I shared the 3 tools. But if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to keep on saying one last time, oh, but the food is just so good. Oh, but like I'm home alone, so this is the perfect opportunity. And then tomorrow I promise I'm never going to binge again. You have to shift your mindset. There's a comment here, I'll do great all day and then blow it at night eating junk. This is extremely common. Now, what I often see with a lot of clients that I work with is, number one, you need to be having satisfying meals throughout the day. What I often see is so many people will try to eat very healthy. Even if you enjoy eating healthy, you are actually dismissing your cravings during the day. Like you're not actually having what you actually really want. And then you come home and then your cravings have intensified. They turned into urges. And now in the evening, it feels like you have no choice but to give in to eating foods that actually don't even make you feel good. I used to do this. I was a personal trainer. I was a health coach, and I would pack my lunch. I would eat all my healthy meals, and I enjoyed them. And I would get home from work, and I would have like 5 different treats, like 5 different cookies, and they were all healthy, but it's like I didn't need 5 treats at 9 o'clock at night before bed. And so when you increase the satisfaction of your meals and you start actually having some of those foods that you actually want and you're not depriving yourself during the day. And this is the thing, like I thought I wasn't depriving myself because maybe you're like me, it's like you enjoy eating healthy. But when you really look at it, it's like, are you actually eating exactly what you want throughout the day? Are you actually having extremely satisfying meals? Most of the time, you're not, which is why you come home, come the evening, and then it's like, okay, what do I actually want? So that's something to think about. So knowing what to do to stop giving into your urges is important, but the mindset behind it is everything. And I actually teach this inside of my program, Stop the Urge. And for the next 48 hours, you actually get to join at a special rate. So Stop the Urge is my program that helps you stop giving into your urges. I hear this all the time, like my urges are so strong, but it feels like I have to give in. Well, I'm going to teach you not only tangible tools for when you feel the urge to binge, when you feel the urge to keep on eating, even though you know you're full. I'm going to help you stop giving in, but also how to prevent your urges from even popping up in the first place. How to stop feeling impulsive with food in the first place. How to stop even feeling this desire to eat past fullness in the first place. Once you catch that and you know how to prevent your urges from arising in the first place, well, it makes it that much easier for you to not give in. I'm also going to teach you inside of this program the difference between cravings and urges so that you know when to say yes to the chocolate and when to say no. When to have something sweet after lunch and when you need to say no, because knowing how to distinguish the difference is going to be a game changer. When you actually eat what you're craving and you say no to your urges, you become less impulsive, you effortlessly stop when you're full, and you're not thinking about food 24/7. So that's all included inside of the program. I also dive deeper into the mindset shift. Again, what's the mindset? Okay, I know all the tools. Lorna, I know what to do when I feel the urge to binge, but like I want to binge. I want to eat the cookies. I want to keep on eating. I know I'm full, but I keep on eating. Yeah, because you have to work on your mindset. You need to see yourself as way more powerful over your urges. Right now, you're not seeing yourself as more powerful than your urges. You're giving your power away to your urges. Oh, but they're so strong. Oh, but like it's too hard. No, it's not too hard. You just don't have the right mindset. So I'm going to teach you how to stop giving into your urges, aka how to actually stop eating when you know you're full. You don't need more food. You know you're full, but you feel this urge to keep on eating. I'm going to help you be able to actually say, I'm full, and not keep on eating inside of this program. Now, for the next 48 hours, you get to join at a special rate. So normally this program is $497. For the next 48 hours, you get to join at $111. Depending on obviously when you're listening to this, it might be 24 hours, it might be 3 hours, depending. But I'm doing a special for the next 48 hours because I have helped so many of my clients stop giving into their urges. And when you stop giving into your urges, you stop eating when you're full. You stop binge eating. You actually can feel way more comfortable in your own skin. You're not bloated. You're not feeling guilty. When you keep on giving into your urges, you are creating this habit into your brain. You are eating past fullness. You're uncomfortable in your own skin. That all changes inside of this program. So, depending on where you're listening to this, if you're listening to this on TikTok, you can just message me, Stop the Urge. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you can click the link down below and you can join. Again, it's so easy to say one more time. It's so easy to convince yourself, but like, no. I promise this is me the very last binge. I promise. Oh, but the food is just so good. Oh, but I'm at the restaurant. I don't eat this foods that often. Like, I'm just at a social event and I don't have these foods at my house. So like just one more time. But every time you tell yourself one more time, you further ingrain this habit into your brain. So you need to do something different. You cannot just tell yourself don't do it. How many times have you told yourself to stop when you're full? Have you stopped when you're full? No. Because it's not about just telling yourself to stop. You need to change what's going on up here. You need to create a physical state change in your body. You got to stop using the tools as punishment, as like, go use the tool so you don't go and snack. No, go use a tool like regulating your nervous system so you're way more grounded. You're less impulsive so that when you go and you have a snack, you don't need the 5 cookies. You're fine with just one. This will change everything for you. This will help you stop your binge eating so much faster. So I'm excited. 48 hours, well, less than 48 hours right now, but probably like 30-ish hours that you got to join this special program, Stop the Urge, for $111. Normally it's $497, and that will be just for the next little bit. So thank you guys for being here. Go stop giving into your urges. This will make the biggest difference for you. All right, you guys, have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you guys soon. Okay, bye, guys.